What's up, everybody? Right now is the collaboration of the century. Across from me on the screen right now, I have one of my best buddies, as well as simultaneously the best and worst roommate I've ever had, Mr. Ryan
Oh
Hailey.
my, that's how you're going to introduce me? Jesus. Hey, everybody.
That, yeah. So Ryan is not only the first employee at Wisecrack, but he's also honestly one of like the smartest guys I know and
Aw.
just one of the most unique people I know. So this is part of a collaboration right now. He picked 55 directors, and I'm going to be ranking them on this graph right here, of the 55 greatest directors of all time. And right now, if you go to his channel called Ryan Shorts, you can see me picking 55 directors for him to do. So it's a collab. Make sure you go to Ryan's Shorts and subscribe. This man brings much joy into my life, and I guarantee he will to you as well. Anyway, I want to first establish what the tiers mean.
Yes.
So
This is important.
S tier. This is important because it might actually be a little bit different than what Ryan did, even though we both agreed. So S tier is God tier. This means that this director has changed cinema forever. Cinema wouldn't be the same without them. They are the patron saints of the cinematic religion. A tier means that they have made at least two masterpieces. And when I say masterpiece, I mean masterpiece with a capital M. B means they've made at least one masterpiece. C means they've made multiple great movies. D means they've made at least one great movie. And F means they've made zero great movies. Now, I just want to also draw a distinction of what do I mean by great, because I think Ryan and I also have a philosophical difference on this.
Probably.
So when I say a movie is great, I mean like, it is worth writing home about. When I say a movie is a masterpiece, I mean that, you put it on the altar and worship it. So I'm going to be putting some things in C and D, but I want you to understand that still means that these movies are great. They just might not be masterpieces.
Okay. All right.
So I think we're ready. So give me what you got, sir. I'm excited.
All right. Let's see what we got here. Let's just start out with Bam, your buddy.
Is this okay? So first of all, I think I'm actually going to be much worse at at identifying these people than you are. But that's Polanski, right?
That is Roman Polanski. Yes, I was very impressed with
Okay.
how good I was at figuring out those pictures
You
yesterday.
you were great. Okay, so Polanski, Chinatown is a masterpiece with a capital M, so it's at least going to be in B, A, or S. I don't think he's S tier. And Rosemary's Baby is the only other movie that I would consider being a masterpiece, but I don't think at the end of the day it is, so I'm going to put him in B.
Okay, we got a B here. Hold on one second. Let me figure out how to do this. All right. First Blood, Roman Polanski in B. Okay, so.
All right, baby.
All right, baby. So now we're going to go. I don't remember who this is. Let's see who it is. Oh.
The sisters. All right, so The Matrix is a masterpiece.
I agree.
I think it's better than Star Wars. And I know that I'm biased because it had a very significant impact on my life and my intellectual development, but The Matrix is one of those movies that you can just watch with your eyes closed, and just the rhythm and the sound design. It won 4 Oscars, the technical awards, for sound editing, sound design. One of the most well-earned technical Oscars, in my opinion.
I agree.
So similarly, I think I'm going to put them in B because I can only really say that The Matrix is their only masterpiece. Definitely the sequels aren't.
Are you forgetting about Speed Racer, motherfucker?
I've seen Speed Racer, but I don't really remember it very well. Because probably I took your advice and watched it while really stoned and didn't remember anything.
Okay. All right, we're gonna go here.
All right, PTA. So There Will Be Blood is a masterpiece.
Mm-hmm. With a capital M.
With a capital M, and I think that I agree with you that Boogie Nights is a masterpiece.
Mm-hmm.
Now, there was a time in my life where I thought Magnolia was a masterpiece, but I've seen it since then, And there have been times when I've watched it where, first of all, I mean, I still love Tom Cruise in that movie, but I don't know. It just seems like I'm watching a young director who's high on himself on a big Coke binge.
Mm-hmm.
Is how that movie feels like. The Master is not great, and then his last two movies are probably his worst movies. So I'm gonna say yes, two masterpieces. Let's put him in A.
Wow, but not S tier. Did I have him in S tier or did I have him in A tier?
You had him in S tier, but again, for me, the S tier is A is the best that you can get. S is just like, for me, that's the, you only put someone in S if they're so good that it's beyond words.
Well, I
At
would
least for
I
me.
would put a lot of his movies in that. So I'm comfortable with my choice of S tier for PTA. All right, moving
I
on.
hear you.
Okay, let's go this man.
Oh fuck. Um, Give me a hint.
Oh, on who it is? Okay.
Yeah, I told you you're gonna be better at me than me at this.
Windmills.
Okay, Don Quixote. Is it Terry Gilliam?
Yes, it is. That was a good hint
Okay, that was a
that
good
I
hint.
give.
Yeah. Okay, so you know what? I'm gonna do the same thing you did. What do you think is his best movie? What is it, Brazil?
I like 12 Monkeys the most, or Fear and Loathing. But yeah, Brazil is widely considered a masterpiece with a capital M.
Yeah. Um, I recognize that, and I like that movie a lot. And you know what? I think I am gonna give it masterpiece with a capital M. Meaning of Life, so good. Monty Python and the Holy Grail. It's hard not to call that a
Well, he
masterpiece.
didn't direct that, did he? I don't think.
Oh, he wrote it.
Yeah.
Oh, wait. Who did direct it then? No, he did
Did,
direct it with Terry Jones.
oh,
Terry Jones and Terry
it was
Gilliam.
a double thing. Okay, yeah, I thought it was just Jerry
Yeah.
Jones. All right.
Let's put him in A. I think
All
he
right.
deserves to be right along PTA.
Honestly, I'm surprised. I thought maybe that I think he deserves to be with in A, but I thought that maybe you didn't like him as much as me. Okay. We're gonna go here.
Cronenberg. Okay. So, Videodrome is a masterpiece. Also, top contender for my favorite movie ever made. I love the shit out of Crash. I love I love Scanners. He's got some of the best special effects in his movies. He's probably one of the best genre directors ever. I love just he's also a great film philosopher. Um, but really, I mean, uh, what do you consider a masterpiece other than Videodrome? Because I'm having a hard time
The
coming up with
the
one that I
Fly,
really. Ooh, The Fly is great.
Scanners.
I don't know if I'd say. Yeah, I love Scanners. You know what? I'm gonna break my rule. I still think he only has one masterpiece, but I'm gonna put him in A anyway because of just how much his stuff personally resonates with me. And he's also made some pretty bad movies. Like Cosmopolis is impossible to watch. His Freud Young movie is not as fun to watch as it should be.
Now,
Did you
yesterday,
see that one?
yeah, I did see that one. It was so. But yesterday, you had said that you were, not going to really discount people for their bad movies, which I said I would be, but here you are doing it.
Well, I mean, ultimately, I gave him the spot because of his good stuff, and I
Okay,
didn't.
good
I
point.
just wanted to mention that.
Okay, that's what I believe I had him in S tier, right?
I think so. Yeah.
I think he changed the game, for horror, at least. Okay, we're gonna go here. Wait, whoops.
Okay. God damn it. Um, he looks so familiar. um. All right. I need another hint, man.
Okay, you just said his name.
Terry Jones.
No, like the last word of your last sentence.
Oh
Replay.
man, I don't remember what I just.
You just said his name again.
I just said I don't know what I just said, and I said his name.
No, you omitted it that time.
Are you fucking kidding me? You're confusing the shit out of me.
The people playing at home, I hope you figure out what. Okay, woman.
Woman. All right, you're making me feel like a fucking idiot.
I'm sorry, I shouldn't. I shouldn't. I don't mean to make fun of you for not knowing who Michael Mann is. You had said man. I don't know. Man. Yeah. That was the joke.
Like I'm gonna pick that up.
Yeah. Okay. Sorry.
I actually sat next to him at a movie screening once. Okay, Michael Mann. Heat is a masterpiece. We talked about that, but what else do you think is in the running? He's made many great movies.
That was my point yesterday. Yeah.
The Insider's pretty cool.
It's not a masterpiece.
His early Hannibal movie is cool. Manhunter.
Last of the Mohicans.
Miami Vice. I don't give a shit about that movie.
That's
I don't know. I saw
movie.
it like too late in life. Not crazy about it. So I'm gonna put him in B. One masterpiece, many great films.
See, I have him. I think I had him C or D. I want to say because I said he had one masterpiece, but then he had made too many kind of just so films that to me he encompassed the C. I make multiple great films.
Yeah, but he's still a director that I will see anything he makes, even though I just admitted I haven't seen Miami Vice. But I'm excited when a new Michael Mann movie's coming out.
Oh yeah, me too. All right, let's see what you got here. Let's see what you think about this.
Oh man,
this is specific to Jared.
So here's the problem is that definitely it's between S or A for me.
Wow.
And I would say his masterpieces are Police Story 1 and man, I think I know it's as a director, the other movie I was going to say he didn't direct. The thing is that if I were to say he changed the cinematic language or changed the game, the only thing is I would have to recognize that he's so deeply influenced by Chaplin and Keaton. Now, the only thing is he's like Buster Keaton and Charlie Chaplin mixed with Bruce Lee.
Sure.
And so I think I'm going to have to put him in A.
I would argue that is doing your own remix of this stuff just because it's a reference of something else. You can totally change the game by transcending your references. All art's a little reference. You can make that argument of.
But see, that's what distinguishes the gods for me. You know what I'm saying? Again, A in my mind is still the best of the best. S is just otherworldly.
I would, but that's the thing is that even the gods are pulling from something sometimes. I mean, I could I guess the only director I can think of that is literally creating his own stuff. I don't know, Stanley Kubrick maybe.
All right, well, we'll see. We'll get there.
All right, here we are. For people who are playing at home that don't know who this is, who is this, Jared? We didn't say his name ever.
Jackie Chan.
Of
course, everybody knows it's Jackie Chan.
There are people playing at home going, Jared, you're making me feel like a fucking idiot for not knowing who Jackie Chan is.
I doubt it, but okay.
All right, let's see. Let's see what you think about this dude.
Is that Danny Boyle?
It is.
All right, so Trainspotting was a huge movie for me.
I know.
I loved that. That was my favorite movie in high school. Having said that, I haven't seen it in a while, and over the past couple of years, I've become pretty critical of his excessive use of style. And as a matter of fact, maybe 5 or 6 years ago, I tried to watch Trainspotting again, and I was not liking it, and that kind of freaked me out, so I turned it off.
Oh no.
And if Trainspotting isn't a masterpiece, then I don't think he has one. What? I mean, do you disagree with that? What other big Danny Boyle movies?
No, I agree. I think I would put Trainspotting as a masterpiece, but probably as only one. Yeah. So if you don't like that movie, you're probably not gonna like him.
Well, I'm gonna trust my high school self, and I'm gonna put him in B.
Really? Okay.
One masterpiece, Train Spotting. Man, I hated Train Spotting too,
I remember you
unfortunately.
saying that. That made me
Uh,
not go see it. Um,
it's the most superfluous sequel ever, and that's saying a lot in the world of sequels.
I would say I was expecting you to be way harsher than you're being at right now. I was expecting you to be doling out these C's and D's like I wasn't yesterday. So I'm pleasantly
Oh, okay.
surprised that we're
Oh, okay. Well, I'm glad because I was expecting you to think, "Oh my God, you're such a curmudgeon." There's no S's.
All right. Let's see if you can pick this guy out.
Oh my God. Okay,
I
at
would.
least tell me if does the quality of the picture suggest that he's an old-timey director?
Yes, I would not be able to pick this person out of a lineup.
All right, I'm gonna totally guess. Is it either Fritz Lang or F.W. Murnau?
It's neither of them.
Fuck.
I'll give you a hint.
Our
I fell asleep watching
Okay.
a movie by this guy with you, which I know does not narrow
Is
it
it
down. Yes.
Tarkovsky?
Tarkovsky, yes.
Oh, dude, I'm glad you did Tarkovsky. Cool. All right. Man, okay, so once we get into these kind of European slash Slavic art house guys, this is a weird conundrum for me because there are movies that, first of all, I haven't seen, and there are some of them that I consider unwatchable. So, for example, The Mirror and The Sacrifice are both Tarkovsky movies that I'm pretty sure I fell asleep to, and if I didn't, I also have not seen the entirety of Andrei Rublev because it was too boring. But I will say that I love Stalker. That's a masterpiece. Were you with me at the LACMA when we tried to see Solaris?
No, I wasn't.
Okay. It was so boring, but I remember liking it at one point. Have you seen it?
No, I've seen the Soderbergh version with my dad when I was a kid, and I wanted to kill myself. But-
Okay. So God, I know like I have to stay true to how these films really resonated with me. I mean, I really like Yvonne's Childhood. That's a great film. And I know that there are so many cinephiles that are going to put me on their hit list when I say that for me, the only movie that struck me as a masterpiece is Stalker, to where I really can say I wasn't bored to tears and was really just profoundly impacted the whole time. So I'm going to have to put him in B.
B. Okay.
Where would you have put him?
Dude, I haven't finished a movie. Remember we by him. I mean, I hate to say that, but remember I fell asleep in Stalker when we watched it, and then I've not gone back.
Okay.
So unfortunately, I don't have an opinion. Let's see
Okay.
here.
Herzog. The reason I didn't pick him for your list is because I feel like these days his impact is more in the world of documentaries.
Which I love, and I'm a documentary fiend, dude.
I know, but I also for you didn't tried not to pick documentarians and tried not to pick like animated peoples, which is not something I established. So if you did that, that's fine. But like, so I didn't choose Miyazaki.
I almost did Miyazaki for you. I
instance.
didn't though.
Okay, so Herzog. Do you want me to consider his documentaries or just his narrative
To
films?
me, the documentaries are films, baby. It's the medium of movie. We are talking greatest directors all the time. You can direct all. It's a very open, flexible, fluid medium.
So have you seen Agira, Wrath of God or whatever?
Oh yeah, I've seen that.
What do you think?
I know people consider that a masterpiece. I'm sure. To me, I don't love the movie, but like I'm impressed by it as a piece of DIY cinema where they're going. They literally went on a boat down the Amazon or whatever.
Oh, and we watched Fitzcarraldo together.
Yeah,
Did you fall asleep during that?
I love. I've seen Fitzcarraldo a couple times,
Yeah.
and I love Burden of Dreams so much. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So, well, in terms of documentaries, the one that I think is probably a masterpiece among documentaries is Into the Abyss. Have you seen that?
Yeah, I love that movie.
And as far as, I mean, I love, probably my favorite film of his is Bad Lieutenant Protocol New Orleans with Nick Cage, but that's really just like my taste, which is, something I am taking into consideration. And he's just, he takes so many risks and he's so avant-garde and he's an actor too. And I saw his Dracula movie, which I didn't love, but there were definitely some really interesting things about it.
Yeah.
Let's put him in A. Let's put him in A.
Okay. I was honestly going to say if I was rating this Werner Herzog, I was going to put him in B because I think he's made kind of one masterpiece and a many great films. You know.
Yeah, I know, but he's such a warrior of cinema. It feels
Sure.
weird not to put him in A.
I know. See, you're more generous than me, Jared. Um, all right.
Bong Joon-ho. All right. So, what is your favorite Bong Joon-ho movie, Ryan?
I think Mother.
I really love Mother. I really love Memories of Murder. I mean, I love Parasite, but it's not my favorite of his.
I think it's up there.
He's really
It's
never made a
become my
bad
favorite.
movie.
Yeah, he's never made a bad movie. All of them. The Host, I'd put up there, and I like Snowpiercer a lot more than other people, and it's not perfect and whatever, but it's I love it.
So because I love Memories of Murder so much, because I love Mother so much, and because I love Parasite so much, I'm going to say that although I probably wouldn't say any of those are masterpieces, I think they all kind of average out into a masterpiece because he's just so consistent. So I'm going to put him in B.
Whoa. See, wow, I would for sure go at least A with Bong Joon-ho. Um, I,
Yeah.
I mean, I think all of his movies are approaching masterpieces, if not masterpieces. and then it's more
I
just
hear ya.
it's more just did he change the game? And in a way he did, but I think he's comfortable on A for my list. This is your list, Jared. I'm sorry to talk about my list during your list.
No, it's okay.
All right.
That's why you're here.
All right, let's
Compare
see.
and contrast.
Yeah, totally. Let's see what we got here. Gonna save some of these guys. Let's go to this person.
Oh fuck. Give me a hint. Oh, is this like Mike Lee or something?
You're close. Graduate.
So it's Mike's. Oh, Mike Nichols.
Yes, this is Mike Nichols. And honestly, in hindsight, I don't know why I put him on your list because I just to me he's one of the masters, but I don't know if we've talked about Mike Nichols a whole lot.
No, this is a good pick, one that I didn't think of. So other than The Graduate, I've seen like that movie Closer, which I thought was pretty good, but I think The Graduate is great. I don't know if I would call it a masterpiece. Catch-22 is good. Who's Afraid of Virginia Woolf is good. Is great. All these movies are great.
Mm-hmm.
The Birdcage I haven't seen. Charlie Wilson's War. I haven't heard great things about that. If you've seen that,
I liked it a lot, dude. I don't know why it gets a bad rap. It's great.
All right, this is going to be my first C, but again, like I don't want that. But he's made great movies, you know. So I don't want this to think like I'm knocking the guy.
Well, C is you've made multiple great movies. Yeah, I think that's
multiple great movies.
Completely legit for him. I really like all his movies. I love Working Girl is a great movie if you haven't seen it, and
I haven't seen that one.
Obviously, The Birdcage rocks. Oh, Carnal Knowledge, dude. Did I make you watch that movie before?
I don't know. I haven't seen that either.
Okay, you should watch that. That's a really good movie. Great movie. Okay.
Great movie.
Okay. Let's go to this guy.
That is Iñárritu, is that right?
Yep.
Okay, so I saw Amores Perros when I was in high school and loved the shit out of it. I have not seen it since then. Have you?
I've only seen it once. The same thing. In high school, my teacher recommended it to me, and it did blow my mind.
So his movie with Anton Chigurh, that guy's no. Beauty.
Yeah, Beauty. That movie was spelled differently. That movie we hated.
Yeah,
it.
that movie is fucking garbage. Yeah,
Beautiful.
I don't remember Amores Perros enough, and honestly, obviously, it didn't resonate with me so much that I've decided to watch it again.
What about Birdman?
Babel. I would say Birdman is great, so I'm probably going to put him in C.
Wow.
I don't. What would you consider a masterpiece of his?
I think Birdman's a masterpiece, and I think The Revenant's pretty fucking great. Yeah, I honestly, at the end of the day, would probably put him in B just because I love Birdman so much. I think he's had one masterpiece and then a bunch of great movies. That's probably what I'd end up putting him as in B.
Yeah. I think Birdman's great.
C is fair though. Okay. Your boy.
All right, Chris Nolan. So, I've been thinking about this a lot.
I know.
Because, of course, I figured he would come up. The Dark Knight is obviously a masterpiece, so he's at least in B. Now, I know that you said his second masterpiece was Inception, but I think that that's a movie that's got problems.
Sure.
It's got too much exposition.
It is exposition.
At the end of the day, it's a lot of exposition. I mean, the first hour is exposition.
Yeah.
You could say the same. The first 2 hours of Casino are exposition.
Yeah.
But I mean, that's a problem. And I haven't seen Tenet because I think that having not seen it, I can only hypothesize. But I have the feeling that it's one of those movies that if you don't see it in a movie theater, it kind of just comes off as Christopher Nolan has finally become a parody of himself. Do you agree with that?
No. You should watch Tenet just to see it, but yeah, I don't think that's fair.
Not on a theater.
No, yeah, you should just watch it for sure. I mean, obviously, theater is the better, but I really didn't like the movie. I mean, I will say that, but it's trying to. Oh. He's a guy that swings for the fences, and then sometimes he gets up his own ass. Is kind of how I would phrase it.
Would you say it's his worst movie?
Yeah, I would.
Well, look, if I bumped up Herzog for kind of evening out to having multiple masterpieces. Or, sorry, multiple great films evening out to one masterpiece. I'm going to do the same for Nolan.
A-list?
And put him in A-list, yeah.
Wow, I would never thought I'd see the day where I put Christopher Nolan on a higher tier than you in a list-making contest.
Yeah. Well, another thing, yeah. Some of the old classic masters, it's a little bit easier to determine what's a masterpiece because it's evident if they've held up to the test of time.
Yeah.
And and I really like that Christopher Nolan, all of his movies are kind of about movies. Mm-hmm. Like The Prestige is about magic as movies. Obviously Inception is about dreams as movies. I even think that in some level Dunkirk, this is a very meta reading, I think Dunkirk is about cinema's last stand.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, I love the guy. He's an A-list director. He's right next to fucking PTA, Werner Herzog, and Jackie Chan and Cronenberg. Those are all people that I go crazy for.
I had him in A first, and then at the end I bumped him up. I amended it just because I thought, anyway. All right, let's go this guy.
It's interesting that you chose him. I was thinking of choosing him, but he's made what, 3-4 movies? Are you asking me to consider South Park as a TV show or only the South Park movie? What do you want me to do?
I am specifically the movies, which I do think that every time he comes out with a movie, it's crazy. And I did want to put a few of these guys where I knew for a fact you loved a few, what little output they had, and just see where they stacked up against the people who had bigger outputs. I don't know. I was interested in this, so that is why I put him on here. And but yes, I think that you can totally. It is weird. I mean, directing a TV show is obviously slightly different. You are directing though, so this is greatest directors. I think you can kind of make it a lesser priority in your priorities of grading.
Okay, so the South Park movie is a masterpiece. Right. It's the greatest American musical since Singin' in the Rain.
Okay. New Team America.
Well, Team America has music in it, but the South Park movie is truly formally a musical.
Oh, no, I mean, do you think it's a masterpiece, Team America?
Team America.
His next film.
I think it's great. However, this is weird. Where do I draw the line? Because this guy is a Renaissance man. I mean, he has Tonys, he has Oscars. He's actually the only reason that he'll never be an EGOT man is because he'll never get an Oscar because he showed up in a dress on acid.
I could totally see him getting a lifetime achievement or something.
That would be funny. I mean, dude, he's my idol. What do you want me to do? Like, I think I have to put him in S.
Whoa! All right, we got our first
Yeah.
S for a man who's made essentially 2 feature films. This is great. All right,
I know,
this
but
is some
but
drama.
you busted open the gates of Beyond Cinema by making me consider, his fucking 300 and some episodes of South Park. And then at that point I gotta think about Book of Mormon. I gotta think about yeah, I mean, I
think it
can't
fits.
just consider his film output.
Hey,
All
we
right.
make the rules around here. All right. Wow, our first S tier, everyone. Give Trey Parker a hand. This is great. Okay.
It's going to be interesting to see who he's next to.
Yeah, for real. All right. Who's that?
Fuck. Is this a British guy?
No.
Okay. Fuck. Give me a hint.
Dun, dun,
Conductor. It's Milos Forman. Okay.
Director of Amadeus.
So Amadeus is a masterpiece, and One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest is a masterpiece. So put him in A.
Okay. Say no more. This is one of my favorite directors too.
I've never seen The English Patient. Have you?
He did that?
Yeah.
Are you sure about that? I think that was James Champion or somebody, or another or some other person. I did just see The Fireman's Ball, which was yeah, that was a fun little movie.
Oh, I'm totally wrong. Anthony Minghella. Where the fuck did I get? Foreman did that. Well, he definitely did Man on the Moon, which I think is another great movie.
Yeah.
So cool.
Okay, moving on.
Okay. This is where. All right. So when we were recording yours, I definitely made a mistake in saying that Spielberg never reinvented himself, because I didn't really, in my lifetime, didn't understand that he was basically a popcorn director, and then he made Schindler's List, and it's like, oh my God, he's making dramas. But his later work, like War Horse and whatever that spy movie with Tom Hanks was just
okay.
It was fine, but I was like, what year do you think it is, man? It is not 1995. You can't get away with this schmaltzy shit anymore.
I like it.
Catch Me If You Can is great, and to be honest, I can't really determine if Schindler's List is a masterpiece, because the subject matter is sensitive for me, and so I've only seen it once, and I have no desire to see it again. So I'm really tempted to I think I've got to put him in C.
Wow. Because
I do not have a strong attachment to Jaws. I, as a kid, was never that into Indiana Jones.
E.T.?
E.T., I would say is great. But again, I saw those late in life and never really felt super strongly about it.
All right, his protege.
Zemeckis. So, Back to the Future and Flight, all great films. I mean, Back to the Future is maybe even a masterpiece. I mean, I like Back to the Future more than I like Jurassic Park and the Indiana Jones movies. Is that crazy?
No, that movie rocks.
I'm going to put him in B.
Whoa, higher than Spielberg. Did not see that coming.
I don't know, something about Spielberg bothers me. I don't know why. I just think that he just played it too safe in his late career, and he really is like one of the most famous directors to live, and really was probably, when it comes to people that aren't Christopher Nolan being able to draw big money from studios to make what they want, he's probably one of the last ones who could do it, and he just didn't ever do it and take advantage of it and swing for the fences. I don't consider War Horse a swing for the fences. I don't consider whatever that animated movie he made is Tintin, although I liked it.
What about Lincoln? He brought Abraham Lincoln back to life. Okay.
That is a complete Abraham Lincoln hagiography feels like like it's something that your substitute teacher wheels a VHS player to the front of the class and plays Lincoln when your teacher is sick. Like, fuck that. I don't need that.
Okay. This man.
Is this Haneke?
This is Haneke. Michelle Haneke.
Okay. So I like a lot of his movies. There are some of them that are also unwatchable. Address Unknown. No, not Address Unknown. That's a Kim Ki-duk movie. I'm gonna have to look this up. I really like Caché. I really like The Piano Teacher.
Funny Games 1 and 2.
Funny Games. I think I like. The White Ribbon. I thought was boring as fuck. Oh, it's Code Unknown. That movie is unwatchably boring. I mean, again, like, I know that he's got this rep for being a profound auteur, and I think a lot of his movies are great, but I don't know if I'd call any of them a masterpiece, so I'm going to put him next to Spielberg in C.
All right.
Where would you have put him?
I would have put him in pretty much where you're at, based solely on personal taste. Like, just being like, look, I know this guy rocks, but they're all kind of just great to me. None of them are killing it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
A lot of great films.
A lot of great films. Okay, let's...
JJ. All right, help me out here. What should I be considering? I mean, Star Wars doesn't mean shit to me. Those are.
Yeah, what you would put for JJ? We got Super 8, we got Star Wars, we got Star Trek and Star Wars, and then
It's really hard for me to say that a remake or a reboot is great. I mean, do you disagree?
No, I thought that I disagree. I think that there's some reboots. I think I'm like, oh man, that, like the Evil Dead reboot. I thought was awesome. I don't know, or great. Even though it's based on a totally different, or it's a remake of a movie I like. Hold on, you cut out there for a second.
Sorry, I lost you there for a second. What did you say?
Oh, I was just saying I like the Evil Dead remake.
Yeah. Oh, that was him?
No, I'm just saying like you were asking examples of reboots that were great or something, because you have a hard time calling
Mission
them great.
Impossible.
Oh yeah. 3.
Okay, Mission Impossible is probably great. Wait, is that the one with Philip Seymour Hoffman?
Yeah, it's Philip Seymour Hoffman. I'm gonna find your wife and I'm gonna hurt her. That's what he says.
Yeah, Star Wars episodes 7 and 9, fuck both of them. Star Trek Into Darkness, that one sucked. The first one was really good. I think this is going to be our first D.
All right. I mixed in a little here or there. Just see, I mainly just wanted to get your opinion on these people, because I think that he would be one of the bigger filmmakers today. Box office wise and whatnot. All right, this guy.
Chaos reigns. All right.
Who is he?
Mr. Lars Von Trier. Mr. Lars Von Trier, the man who understands Hitler. Okay. So Antichrist is pretty amazing. There are some unwatchable movies. Europa, I thought, was pretty boring. I'm still not a huge Melancholia fan. Dancer in the Dark is really good. And Dogville is unwatchable. Manderley is unwatchable.
I haven't seen Manderley.
Again, Nymphomaniac is interesting.
Pretty good.
Yeah. I really respect the fact that he's always trying to push boundaries. It's really A or B for me.
Okay.
And I think I'm gonna go with B.
Ooh, B. Do you remember what I put him in?
S.
Did I?
Like most directors. Yeah.
I
I
was
still
gonna I was
have,
I was
I
gonna
still
guess
only
A.
have one, and it's fucking Trey Parker. I feel like such dunce.
Ay, ay, ay. All right. Well, where do you put this motherfucker?
Okay.
You can't tell me he didn't change the game. Tell me he didn't change the game.
Yeah. It's all right. All right. Chill. All right. So he definitely has at least two masterpieces. So he's at least an A.
Uh-huh.
I mean, the masterpieces for me, just to name two, are Wolf, which is incredible that a fucking 70-something-year-old man is at the top of his game making Wolf of Wall Street, and then Goodfellas. Uh, it is between A or S. And yeah, he did change the game. Some of his modernist editing techniques in Goodfellas were very fresh for the time. His use of Steadicam in Goodfellas was only maybe preceded by Kubrick in The Shining. And his use of music is still unparalleled. Let's put him in S.
Boom. All right. See, I just haven't been giving you enough S directors. Otherwise, this thing would be filled like mine was. Also, I'd like to say another. We didn't mention it yesterday with Lars Von Trier and him being an S, but we got to mention the Dogma '95 movement. You know that was one of the more significant film movements in the last 30 years, and he was part of it. So that's another game-changing feather in his hat.
Yeah, that's true.
I'm right.
No, you're right. You're right. But at the end of the day, I'm not like going home and I can't stop thinking about fucking Dancer in the Dark. I mean, it's heartbreaking and impressive, but I'm certainly not rushing home to watch it. And you know what I'm saying?
Sure. Yeah. Different strokes. What do you think about this guy?
Okay, so I think that he's so obviously influenced. I mean, he wears his influences on his sleeve. Like especially Bergman and Dostoevsky. And the thing about him is that he's very personal to me because he's an existentialist Jew who has kind of this like self-hating streak to him and really loves Russian literature, which is all things you could say about me. I think that Manhattan and Annie Hall can both be considered masterpieces, but again, because he wears his influences so much on his sleeve, I'm going to put him in A. And I know that he's made a lot of shitty films.
Yes, he has.
No doubt. But it's definitely a personal taste that elevates him to A for me.
He was in my C, right? I think, yeah. All right.
Yeah, and I knew you weren't as big of a fan as me.
I feel you. Okay, let's go this guy.
Is it Spike Jonze?
That's Spike Jonze.
All right. I don't think Her is a masterpiece. I think his best movie is Being John Malkovich. And even that I just think is great. I'm going to put him in C.
What the fuck? Wow.
What am I? You just think that Malkovich is a masterpiece?
Well, and adaptation. Malkovich and adaptation. That 2-movie streak there was like, whoa! I can't wait to see this. Everything this guy makes. Then we had 8 years to Where the Wild Things Are, and then it's like, all right. And then he makes Her and wins an Oscar, and you're like, okay, maybe he's back. Now he hasn't done anything. He's back to making Jackass for 4. So.
Okay, yeah, but honestly, that's probably my favorite output of his, if I'm being completely honest.
And there you go. You can add that in too. He's although he's more of a producer per se.
Yeah, I mean, look, again, all great movies. Again, a great movie is something you write home about. So I feel pretty good about him there.
Yeah, I remember when I wrote my home to my
next
mom
to
about
Spielberg and Haneke. It's still a place of reverence.
I feel you. Okay, moving on. This man.
Is this Miike?
This is Miike. Takashi Miike.
Okay, so, I mentioned this when we were doing yours, and I want to qualify something I said on yours. I said that it's amazing his range. He makes kids movies, he makes drama movies, he makes batshit crazy stuff, and And when I said it all works, I mean there's at least one in each genre that works. You know what I'm saying? Like The Bird People in China is a good drama. 13 Assassins is an amazing action movie. Yatterman is a fun kids movie. Visitor Q is batshit insane.
Yes, it is.
Now,
Ichi the Killer.
Ichi the Killer. Oh, Audition. Audition is a masterpiece for me. And I also respect just the guy's stamina. He can make up to 4 movies a year. And at the end of the day, I'm an output man. Like, if you have 40 movies and like 2 of them are masterpieces versus like, you have 5 movies and 1 of them are a masterpiece, I would still rank the guy with more movies higher. So I'm going to put him in A.
Hell yeah.
The output gives me that second masterpiece.
Hell yeah. Okay, I see ya. I understand. Okay. Let's go. Okay, right here. Very curious to see what you rank here.
What a conundrum. So is The Room? Look, I mean, if I were to say that he was a great director, it would be that, like, he has incidentally created a cultural artifact that is a great thing to consume, but is not a great movie. And I think that would do an injustice to the other directors on this board. So I'm gonna have to do the obvious thing and put him in F.
What? Our first F?
Yeah.
For Tommy? But he's...
This is basically like putting Uwe Boll in here.
No!
Right?
I mean, I think that this is where the discussion comes in of what is the greatest director. I mean, he made a movie that people watch at midnight, across the world and have found an alternative meaning to what he originally did. And who cares? Because death of the author, and this is you could say his direction was brilliant.
Yeah, and
you could say if you wanted to say that.
And I feel like I said that. I get it. Like, I'm glad The Room exists. It's extremely unique, and it will always have a unique place in film history. Do I think he changed anything? No. Like,
what?
There's no people out there who are well, actually maybe there are, but there is no one succeeding in emulating Tommy Wiseau.
Because he's an iconoclast original. He's you can't emulate him.
He's definitely. Where would you have put him?
Well, it'd be between D or F would be the thing, and it would be between whether The Room is great or not. And so, and I might end up agreeing with you and putting him in F, but we'll never know because you didn't put him in mine. So I'm not going to even.
That's right.
Okay, moving on. We have our first F. Fucking unprecedented.
This is Cuarón. No.
No.
This is okay. Give me.
Sorry, you're cutting out.
Yeah.
Hold on, I'm gonna wait for you to.
Hint.
Oh, can you hear me now?
Yeah, I think I lost you for a second. Can you hear me now?
I can hear you now. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Hint. Bond, James Bond.
Oh, damn it. I'm blanking.
Sometimes I just look at paper bags and they're just so beautiful. It's the most beautiful thing
Oh,
I've ever seen.
yeah. Okay, so it's the American Beauty director. For some reason, I know the writer Alan Ball is coming into my head, but the director isn't. And he also made Jarhead, and he also made. All right, I'm just gonna have to look it up.
1917,
which was okay. Well, I'm about to find out because his name is just escaping me. And Sam Mendes, fuck
Sam
me.
Mendes, fuck you.
Yeah. You know what? I'm putting him. I think he's made. First of all, I don't think American Beauty has aged that well. I don't think Road to Perdition is that great. 1917, not that impressed by his Bond movies, whatever. I'm going to say he's made, man, well, shit. I'm going to put him next to JJ. I'm going to say somewhere
What?
yeah.
You think he's made one great film?
And I'm really struggling to even decide which one that is.
Oh my God, dude! I disagree with you on American Beauty. To me, that is a masterpiece. I love that movie. And then I would put Jarhead as a masterpiece, personally. I think that for me, he's an A director, and I don't think he changed the game so much, but I think that his movies affected me personally a lot. Those two movies especially, and then the rest are pretty good. I really didn't like Away We Go or whatever, his like rom-com-y movie.
I hated the shit out of Revolutionary Road.
I kind of liked it. I didn't hate the shit out of it, but it was whatever. Yeah, but 1917 I thought was a cool feat. I'd call it pretty great.
Yeah, I would say it's good. Like American Beauty, again, I would say good to great, and that would probably be the one great film. Jarhead, I don't really remember that well, so awesome. I would say, even maybe say that's great.
And then
Skyfall. So maybe I really liked Casino Royale, the best Daniel Craig Bond movie for me.
Yeah, but I'm just saying Skyfall. A lot of people like Skyfall as a Bond movie. So he made a pretty great Bond movie. I'd put that in his great category, maybe. I just think you're not giving him enough credit. You're giving him one great movie.
All right, yeah, I'm giving him. All right, let's move on. But a lot of good movies,
Yep. Okay.
Is this Nicholas Winding Refn?
It is.
This is Drive.
This is another one of those where it's like his output is lower, but he's made a few, I think, movies that we've talked about a lot. So I wanted to see where you would place him in the list.
All right, I consider Drive to be great. Not a masterpiece. I didn't see Valhalla Rising or whatever. I never saw The Neon Demon because I thought everyone told me it wasn't good. I've never seen the Pusher movies. I never saw Only God Forgives.
Wow, maybe I should.
So I'm gonna have to. Yeah. So just based on what I've seen, I'm gonna have to put him in D because really, Drive is the only great movie that I think he's made. I mean, what? How do you feel about The Neon Demon and Only God Forgives, which is?
I kind of hate them.
I guess
and so it's this weird case where it's like this guy made one movie I really like, Drive. Valhalla Rising is pretty cool too. And I say that the Pusher series is great if you haven't seen it. So his early career I'm liking, and then his later career I'm hating. So it's like this weird arithmetic where do I rank that, or how do I average that together? I would probably put him in. I'd probably put him in C maybe over D, but D is attractive because he needs to be punished for his movies, and it's ironic because he's the Punisher.
And when you were doing yours, definitely there was like some. Well, I've only seen so much, so I can only rank that.
That's true. Yeah. All right.
Oh, I'm glad you put it. I was wondering if you were going to put him in Mr. Wong Kar-wai. All right. Boy. So it's at least B or above because In the Mood for Love, I think, is not only a masterpiece, but one of the greatest films ever made. Fallen Angels and Chungking Express, I love so much.
Uh-huh.
And he had such a profound impact on me. This guy is the reason why I took 4 semesters of Chinese, even though I was studying the wrong language, because 6 weeks in, I realized, oh, wait, in the Wong Kar-wai movies, they're speaking Cantonese and they only teach Mandarin here. Fuck. Whatever, I'll just stick with it.
Wow.
Yeah. So even though I think In the Mood for Love is probably his only masterpiece, I just love... And look, I mean, My Blueberry Nights is embarrassingly bad.
Filmed in Memphis, Tennessee.
Oh, really? Yeah, it's his first American effort. And Ashes of Time, which is the movie that was like his big, huge budget, like Apocalypse Now, horrible production stories, is unwatchable. But because I love three of his movies that I think are great, which is um, Chungking Express, Fallen Angels, and As Tears Go By, I'm going to say that those cumulatively make a second masterpiece, so I'm going to put him in A.
All right. I figured he'd be high for you. He'd be lower for me. Um, but yeah, he'd probably be.
I mean, he
C.
definitely has not made anything good outside of the 90s, or I think In the Mood for Love came out in 2000, and 2046 was good, but
Yeah.
everything else not that great.
Okay.
The Grandmaster was pretty good.
Yeah, I agree.
Okay. Is this John Carpenter?
It is.
So, when we did John Carpenter on yours, you didn't really specify the big ones for you. I mean, I love his movies with Kurt Russell.
Yep.
And
So big ones for me are The Thing.
The Thing.
The Thing.
The Thing is a masterpiece. So it's B or above.
The Thing. I love Assault on Precinct 13, and I love Big Trouble in Little China, and I love Halloween. Hold on, let me see his list here though, because I know there's a couple I'm forgetting. Like almost in all, I just love his style so much that there's something I like in all his movies, even the ones that people don't like. Like I like the one on Mars or whatever. The Fog. Okay, Escape from New York is his other masterpiece to me. I love the shit out of that movie.
That's one of the Kurt.
Let's
put him in B because I mean his the mark he left on cinema can't be understated, but I don't know if I think he's on the Nolan, Herzog, Jackie Chan level.
Got it. Okay. We go here.
Oh, Darren Aronofsky. We're definitely going to disagree on this one. And Darren Aronofsky used to be an idol of mine. I love Requiem for a Dream so much, and it really did. I mean, it was just copied constantly. The quick cuts of when they're doing drugs, and the score by, of course, I'm forgetting his name now, and the cinematography by Matthew Libatique. I mean, that movie made celebrities out of all of these behind the camera people and was so influential. I don't like The Wrestler as much as everyone else does, but I'd say it's great. I think Noah and Mother are both catastrophes.
I think they're amazing. Amazing catastrophes.
So I'm going to put him next to Spike Jonze because multiple great films.
Wow. All right. Did I put him in S tier?
Yeah, you did.
I believe it.
I mean, look, those last two films are very much love it or hate it, and we just happen to fall on different sides of that coin.
Yep.
All right, is this Mr. Gaspar?
This is Mr. Gaspar. No way.
Okay, so Gaspar Noé, Enter the Void. He's a masterpiece. His I Stand Alone, I love that movie. It's so funny. One of the darkest comedies ever made. Irreversible, I have seen once for obvious reasons. Yeah, I mean, I haven't seen it since high school. And of course, like, it was like I was like in my edgelord phase, so I only watched it because, like, this shit is hardcore. But and then whatever his last movie was is
Climax.
Fucking awesome. Climax.
Fucking great. I'd call it a masterpiece.
Yeah. Just because his perspective is so unique, and he's got at least one masterpiece under his belt, I'm going to put him in A.
Hell yeah. Agree with that assessment. Cool. Okay.
Harmony Korine.
Yep.
Okay, so you know that I love Spring Breakers.
I do know that.
It's also very much a personal taste thing, and I like to hold myself to the standard that, like, if I call something a masterpiece, I can usually, like, back it up with examples that should resonate with everybody, but I don't necessarily think I can do that with Spring Breakers. It really is just a personal love fest, and a lot of it has to do with James Franco's performance. So, and Gummo, I don't really give a shit about. I honestly just found the movie hard to watch. Julian
Julian the
Donkey
Donkey
Boy,
Boy.
I haven't seen it.
Trash Humpers.
Trash Humpers is unwatchable. Um,
What?
I don't even think I finished it, to be honest.
What?
What am I forgetting?
You said most
Like
of them.
Kids
Oh
that he
yeah.
wrote. I think I would just put him in.
Oh,
I'm gonna put him next to Aronofsky, like multiple great films.
the
Even though
Mr.
like one of my
Lonely.
favorite movies of the decade he made, I still don't know if I would call it a masterpiece.
Okay, that's fair enough. I like that you're being harsh on your babies. Mr. Lonely was the only other one that we were forgetting, I think.
That's the one with like the island of celebrity impersonators.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Okay, I don't know who this is.
This is Truffaut.
And-
Sorry, I should have given you a hint.
Okay. All right, so what is it, like Pocket Change is a
Pocket change,
masterpiece.
400 blow or small change, 400 blows. Those are his two biggies. What's the rest of it? Fanny Alexander, wasn't that him?
No, that's Bergman.
Okay, shows you what I know.
You know, I'm gonna put him in B.
B.
I don't. Yeah, I don't think that I've seen two movies of his that I would consider masterpieces, but I do love Small Change so much, and the 400 Blows I would consider at the very least great.
All right, fair enough. Here we go.
James Cameron. All right, you made a very compelling argument about this guy
Thank you very much.
because Titanic holds up incredibly well, and I'm surprised because I wasn't expecting that the last time I watched it. I mean, there's never going to be a movie with water effects that are that awesome again. There will never.
Except Avatar
Because
2.
like no way, dude. It's all going to be CGI.
Well, it's underwater.
The
And
whole thing is
you're not gonna be able to know the difference. Uncanny Valley's over, dude.
uh, no, it isn't,
James
dude.
Cameron cracked the code.
It's
For
it'll
Avatar 2
never
through
be
5.
the uncanny valley will always be a large chasm. But Terminator 2 is a fucking masterpiece.
Amen, brother.
What was the other one you brought up? So I already said Titanic, so that's already 2, so he's at least an A.
Terminator 1, Terminator 2, Aliens, True Lies,
Aliens.
The Abyss, Titanic, and then Avatar, whatever. I want to say we're forgetting. And then he has all his underwater documentary shit. All right, I'm going to look up. I know we're forgetting a movie.
He's definitely a Renaissance man, and he's definitely probably some kind of an insane genius.
Yes.
So look, I know that I'm gonna have to just put him in A. Like, he's amazing, but I don't love the shit out of him.
You son of a bitch! He changed the game. How dare you? You're just trying to keep people off the S tier.
Look, dude,
I'm just kidding.
it doesn't get better than that, except for S, which Trey Parker is on.
Yeah, Trey Parker, Martin Scorsese. By the way, we named all the James Cameron movies. Yeah, so those were it, except Piranha 2: The Spawning. Okay. This person. Don't worry, I would be surprised. I wouldn't get this one either.
Is it Antonioni?
Yeah, you got it. Wow.
Okay, so this is another case of like, I'll be honest, Blow Up. There are scenes of that movie that are stuck in my head forever. Like have you seen it?
No, I have not.
Now I'd be lying if I said that the end of
Hold on, wait.
the
Jared.
movie made. Can you hear me?
Yeah. Say
Okay.
whatever you said again,
Yeah.
though, yeah. You'd be lying if what?
Okay, so I'd be lying if I said that the ending of Blow Up makes sense to me. I'd be lying if I said that I was, really, really engaged the entire time I was watching La Aventura. and I believe those are the only two movies of his I've seen. And
Somehow I
I'm
thought that
so
this was
tempted.
one of your guys that you liked a lot. That's why I put him in there.
Let me check if I'm not. I mean, Blow Up is amazing. So he's at least in B because I would consider that. And I haven't seen the pass. Actually, have I seen? Have you seen The Passenger with Jack Nicholson?
No.
Yeah, there's so many I haven't seen, but because of Blow Up, which is the one to see, let's put him in B.
Didn't he do The Talented Mr. Ripley?
I don't think so. No,
Who's that guy? Okay, never mind.
I don't know.
All right.
I don't think he ever came to America, and like made. Maybe he did. I don't know.
So this guy's in B. Okay. Tonyoni. All right. Here we go.
Is this the woman that made Lady Bird?
Yeah. Greta Gerwig.
Okay, I haven't seen it, man.
Well,
I don't really know what to do
did
here.
you see Frances Ha?
What else? No.
Fuck. All right. Forget I put Greta Gerwig then.
All right, yeah, I have to plead the fifth here. I don't
It's
know.
all right. All right.
Mel Brooks. This is a good pick. Mel Brooks, a staple of Jewish comedy, a staple of, like being offensive, using racial humor, Blazing Saddles. I will always love that movie. Uh, there are some movies like his Hitchcock high anxiety thing is not really that funny. I don't really know how much. I mean, Blazing Saddles will be forever. Spaceballs will be forever. I think those are two masterpieces, and I just, the guy he's one of those guys like Trey Parker that has the hall pass, and it's a shame that he's so old that he can't really use it anymore. But I'm gonna put him in A.
All right.
Where would you have put him?
Probably A or S.
Okay. All right. Cool.
Add him to my collection up there. Okay.
Is this Park Chan-wook?
It is.
Okay, so Old Boy is also one of the greatest movies ever made. Like it is so good. I've seen it tens of times, and I think it gets better every time. And I don't really think I can say that for any other movie. Mr. Vengeance and Lady Vengeance, I don't think are very good. I really liked his last movie with the weird like squid lesbian sex or whatever.
Oh yeah, that was a good one. The Handmaiden.
Yeah. And when I talk about like changing the cinematic language, like this dude, he's all about form. Every movie, even his American movie Stoker, was almost like a film essay. And so this may surprise you, but I'm gonna put him in S, dude.
Whoa, I was wondering. Yeah, all right. 'Cause I know you love Old Boy. All right, interesting. S tier. That does surprise me, just based on your list so far. Because I mean,
yeah, it's just that he really, yeah, I mean, like Choi Min-sik's performance in Old Boy is one of the best performances of all time. So you could say that he's got a masterpiece with one of the best performances of all time. He is. You could teach a whole class about filmmaking, but if you just compare the old. Or the original Old Boy to the Spike Lee Old Boy,
yeah.
Just like the way that he deals with space and timing and juxtaposition. I mean, the movie is everything you would ever need to know about filmmaking you could learn from watching Old Boy.
Amen.
David Fincher. All right, well, I've put thought into this one. I'm just going to go ahead and say that he's got at least two masterpieces, and they are The Social Network and Fight Club. And so let's put him in A.
All right. I believe I had him in S because I think he changed the game.
Yeah. I mean, he is, when it comes to like when I'm about to. Oh, and I love Gone Girl. I think Gone Girl's a
Yeah.
masterpiece. That's 3 masterpieces. I mean, he is maybe an S. I don't know. I might revise my position on
Okay.
this, but he's still incredible.
Yeah. Precious about those S's. I get it. Okay, here we go.
Ah, okay. Um, I know who this is. I just, for some reason, I'm brain farting because it's almost midnight here in Finland.
Wow, really?
Yeah. Oh, Wes Anderson. Wes
Yeah,
Anderson.
yeah.
Okay. I'm not crazy about him. I don't think he has a masterpiece. So it's going to be C at the highest. I really liked, and some of the movies that I like, yeah, I mean, a lot of them are the same. It's just so quirky. And, when Saturday Night Live made that like fake Wes Anderson trailer, it was so uncannily Wes Anderson and so precisely him that it almost made it look like anybody could do what you do. And I feel like it was almost humiliating, and it made me lose respect for him. So I'm going to put him in C. I like a lot of his movies, and like Fantastic Mr. Fox is great. I mean, Rushmore is probably great. Royal Tenenbaums I saw late in life, but I remember Danny Glover's performance bringing me to tears. So he's made great films.
Wow, harsh for Mr. Wes Anderson.
Yeah, I just
get
think
it.
he's a bunch of kind of like hipster kind of blech.
I do think that it's one of those things where we take Wes Anderson for granted a little bit, because I mean I have the same complaints. Like it's like he's redoing himself a bunch and stuff, but it's like he did invent his own little production style. He's like his own mini hipster Tim Burton, right? Where he and it is cool. I don't think that just comes out of nowhere. That came from him, and then it's been replicated a million times, like Quentin Tarantino and stuff was. I don't know. I think that you got to give him a little credit for that, personally. But
Yeah,
this is your list. Here we go.
Terrence Malick. Okay. I've only seen Badlands once,
It was good.
and I remember liking it a lot. I don't think I love the shit out of Tree of Life. What are the other ones? I mean, I haven't seen The New World.
Days of Heaven.
I think that I have seen that. I don't really remember. Is that the one with the burning house, or is that Badlands? No, that's Days of Heaven.
Yes. Yeah, they get in a fight in the rice or whatever, and it's Richard Gere.
Mm-hmm.
To the Wonder.
Didn't see it.
It's
because I've heard it was so bad, and then I heard the one with Christian Bale was so bad.
Knight of Cups.
Yeah.
Yes. So where do you put him?
I'm gonna put him in C. Just because Badlands is great, Tree of Life is probably great, but I just wouldn't be being honest with myself if I really thought that any of them were like masterpieces with a capital M.
Yeah.
And he's in good company. All those people on there are really amazing directors.
Okay, let's see here. Oh, yeah. Whoops. Wait, no.
Yeah, don't know.
We don't know. Okay.
Is this Buster Keaton? I can't really see. Oh, no, it's
No.
not Buster Keaton. Okay.
You won't be able to get it, probably.
Help me out. Is this like young Fellini?
It's a Wonderful Life?
Oh, fuck. Capra?
Yeah, Frank Capra. This is Frank Capra.
Okay, so, Mr. Smith Goes to Washington is a masterpiece.
All right, cool. I'm glad I agree on that.
It's a Wonderful Life I've maybe seen when I was less than 10 years old.
I would call it a masterpiece of American cinema.
Yeah, see, this is one I should have done for you because you're much better on the old school American cinema than I am.
This was definitely a because I like him one.
Well, I mean, I can really in good faith only put him in B because
Okay.
I really... Mr. Smith Goes to Washington, and I just don't know.
Okay.
Beyond that.
I probably shouldn't have put him. Oops. Well, he's there forever.
All good. All good.
Let's see. This guy. Where are you going to put this guy?
Okay. You know where I'm putting this guy.
I hope I do.
I'm putting him in S.
All right. That's what I was hoping.
And I could go on and on. David Lynch, first of all, when I talk about creating your own cinematic language, like he's really like a cinematic mystic in that, his movies don't have to make sense because it's all about the colliding of, like, he really just can tap into your subconscious unlike any director. It's the movies resonate with me on a level that is almost inexplicable. It's something where what I'm seeing doesn't make sense, but I also know that it's not random. And it makes like some kind of sense in some kind of ethereal, non-rational way. He also has filmed some of the best sex scenes of all time, which is amazing for someone who's Wild at Heart. Also Lost Highway, Twin Peaks: The Return. I hesitate to bring it up. Never mind, because I know I actually bought Ryan Twin Peaks: The Return with my own money and mailed it to him and said, "You fuck, watch this," and he still hasn't.
No, I have. I have watched it. We need to talk about it.
Okay.
It's been awesome.
Okay.
Thank you for that.
But also, it can't. As a director, like, basically your main job is to make sure that the actors perform well, and how do you get those actors to perform those performances without just saying, hey, do it but a little bit weirder? And I doubt he's able to get such precise performances from a diverse cast of extremely talented actors. I could go on and on and on, but let's move on. David Lynch, S.
Yes, agree.
A god amongst men.
Let's see here. Okay. This guy.
Oh, the Cornetto trilogy dude, right?
Yes.
Yeah. Why can't I remember his name? This is him also at his skinnier years.
Edgar Wright.
Edgar Wright. Yeah. Thank you. He definitely is a very smart, very capable filmmaker. And he really, he makes his comedies utilize cinematic technique much more than any of those Apatow, Seth Rogen movies that are basically just like you put a camera on sticks and film people doing improv. He really, knows how to edit, knows how to frame, knows when to move the camera. He's amazing. Having said that, I don't know if I think any of his movies are masterpieces, but because he really is a real warrior of cinema within the comedy genre, I'm going to put him in B.
Okay.
Where would you have put him?
I would probably put him in B or C. It'd be a toss-up. I feel like I've fallen less in love with him over time, even though I do like him and appreciate him. Shaun of the Dead, I still remember watching that the first couple of times and just laughing my ass off and thinking how fun and clever this movie was. But
yeah,
I don't know if I've gotten that since.
I still haven't seen Baby Driver.
I recommend you watch it. All of his movies, yeah, I say that. I mean, I when I go to an Edgar Wright movie, when I'm going to go see Lost Night in Soho or whatever, I'm always like, all right, I'm going to see something pretty cool. So maybe I'm being a little harsh on Edgar Wright. Let's go this guy. One of my heroes.
John Waters. So this is a funny story. I had never seen a John Waters movie before, and I just assumed, like, oh, he's a comedy director, just a regular old comedy director. I'm going to invite this girl over to watch this movie because, it's a comedy movie. And, like, this girl is not a cinephile. This girl had not, like, seen a lot of movies to the point where she's desensitized, and we watched Pink Flamingos. And
how'd that go?
Needless to say, I had to finish the movie by myself because we had to turn it off. But I haven't really seen a ton of his movies, and I think I'm gonna have to put him in D just because I respect his unique voice. Oh, you know what I have seen? I have seen Cecil B. Demented, which I like. I think is great, but it's not a masterpiece for me. So I'm gonna have to maintain my. Let's say multiple great films. So let's put him in C. My bad. C.
Okay. All right. That's a little more respectable than D. He doesn't deserve to be down there with JJ. or Windring.
Wendering Refn.
Yeah, okay. Get out of here, Greta.
Yeah.
All right,
Is that Orson Welles?
Yes, it is. I figure we're
Okay.
talking about greatest directors of all time. He made the quote unquote greatest movie of all time. He's got it. He deserves to be there by law.
Right. And I do think Citizen Kane kind of deserves it. Like I don't really cast doubt on that title. Like there's something very, I mean, especially as an American, and talking about American cinema, it's about a figure, William Randolph Hearst, who is, a media mogul. There's nothing more American and something more powerful uniquely in America than a media mogul. He made it when he was 24 years old. His performance is amazing. Him and Greg Toland really did bring a lot of unique cinematic elements to that movie. So Citizen Kane deserves all the praise. F for Fake, I think if you ever want to teach somebody what is postmodernism, just watch F for Fake. It's amazing. I don't know if I would call it a masterpiece. And then he's only in The Third Man. All right, let's put him in A.
Really?
Because I also think Touch of Evil is a masterpiece. So there's two.
Yeah, Touch of Evil is a masterpiece. To me, Citizen Kane gets a lot of credit for being the first to do all this shit and the just crazy story and Orson Welles' whole story and whatever. But like watching it to me, Touch of Evil holds up as a movie. Like you could watch that with people today, and I think it holds up. But then Citizen Kane, I think you kind of have to be a cinephile to really appreciate that movie, in my opinion.
That's possible. That's possible.
Okay.
This is not very, very old Robert Redford, is it?
No.
Okay.
That's a good guess.
It kind of looks like him, right?
A little bit.
Give me a hint.
All right. RoboCop. Starship Troopers. That's probably too big a hint.
Yeah, and I know who it is, but again, it's almost midnight here in Finland, and my brain is mush.
Dutch.
Just tell me his name.
Paul Verhoeven.
Yeah, Verhoeven.
Yeah.
Man, what a unique guy.
Yeah.
Like, just no one else has ever satirized a genre while inhabiting it at the same time. I mean, I'm really tempted to say that RoboCop is a masterpiece and Total Recall is a masterpiece.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm going to put him in A.
Makes sense. I believe I gave him an S because I think he did change things.
No, I did not prompt you with him, unfortunately.
Oh, you didn't? Okay, well, maybe that was just in my mind when I was thinking.
Yeah.
Showgirls. Get out of here, Greta Gerwig. Okay.
Is that the Coen brothers?
It is.
Los Coen Hermanos. Well, it's either A or S.
Nice.
Because they've made multiple masterpieces. The Big Lebowski. You know what I'm gonna put him in A, bro. Gonna put him in A.
That's a shame.
Bro, A. Fucking A, bro. He's next to... This is not to say that there's anything wrong with them or that they've ever even made a bad movie.
I get it. I just feel bad for them for all the things they've given you and you're not giving them in return. But, it's okay.
He's next to P.T. Anderson and Jackie Chan and Chris Nolan and Milos Forman and Woody Allen. Woody Allen is the namesake of my dog. You know what I'm saying?
Alrighty.
All right. Thank fucking God. I was starting to worry that you didn't include him.
No.
Put him in S.
All right.
I mean,
no need to.
The man is one of the smartest filmmakers ever made. Dr. Strangelove is one of the best comedies ever made. Barry Lyndon, I know we disagree, is one of the best costume dramas ever made.
Uh-huh.
Eyes Wide Shut is one of the I mean, I guess
It's
it's
the
like what, like an
sexiest
erotic
Tom Cruise movie ever made.
Yeah, I mean, it has Tom Cruise in it. And The Clockwork Orange is iconic as fuck. So 2001 masterpiece. Just rack them up, rack them up.
And we're talking about Stanley Kubrick for everyone out there in
Yeah, Stanley
internet
Kubrick.
land.
Sorry.
Yeah. Okay, here we go.
Who is this goofy looking dude?
How dare you? He's the
I just don't know who it is.
Of Say Hello to My Little Friend. Or
De Palma.
Yep.
Okay, so this is one of those directors that I should have picked for you, because you've seen probably many more of his movies. The Untouchables, I was not crazy about.
Blowout, Carrie.
I've seen Blowout is like the Americanized version of Blow Up, which makes more sense. Carrie is great. And I would say that Scarface, even though some people don't like it, I mean, I love it.
Mission Impossible 1, Carlito's Way.
Carlito's Way is great. I'm gonna put him in C.
Oof. All right, I understand.
I just don't love. And I think like I haven't seen the entirety of Sisters, so
that's cool.
I just think I'm probably undereducated here.
I understand. It's another one that was maybe I just love him. So here you go. Here's one we both love.
Tarantino. He is the real fucking deal, man. Pulp Fiction is a masterpiece. His favorite movie of mine is Django. So it's definitely A or S. And it's hard. We had this discussion already. Like, he really is the ultimate postmodern filmmaker because he just brings all these elements from the history of cinema, brings it together, and masters them. And he like nails it every time. And he's so precise with his filmmaking. And so it's really a question of like, is there someone who does remixes as valuable as the original?
Right.
And that's a question that I don't really think I can answer, given, I think that's just part of a much larger conversation. I am feeling generous. I'm going to put him in S.
Wow. All right.
Yeah.
Adding one more S to your thing. Okay, we're in the final four here. We're getting to the end.
All right, there's one S an obvious S that if you didn't include, I'm going to at least have to mention.
All right, well, I'm curious to see if I did him. Okay, let's see. Is this an S? Is this your S you're thinking of? This man?
Oh, I got his face. Is this Kurosawa?
No.
Okay, is it... He looks very familiar. Give me a... Oh, wait, is this...
Doves.
Doves.
Slow-mo and Doves.
Oh, John Woo.
Yes.
John Woo.
Yes, John Woo.
Yeah, I mean, I said it before, but like, there will never be a more balls to the wall action movie than Hard Boiled, so that's a masterpiece.
Killer.
The Killer I don't like as much as Hard Boiled. There's definitely a humanitarian case to be made here that like there ought not to be another movie like Hard Boiled, because like there's a story that in that iconic shot of Chow Yun-fat running away from the explosion, like John Woo started the explosion earlier than he told Chow Yun-fat. So the shot is incredible because literally Chow Yun-fat is like quarters of a second away from dying. and Chow Yun-fat didn't talk to him for like 2 weeks after they got that shot, but they got the shot and it's fucking amazing. Now, is that something that's good or bad? Well, the movies speak for themselves, and I love action cinema. And again, he made the cream of the crop. So maybe because I'm getting more tired and I'm getting like just more generous, let's put him in S.
All right, yeah. He's a god for sure. He changed the game. Yeah.
But he's got a lot of bad movies too. But I hear you.
Yeah, I think that he's worth it to be amongst these gods. Okay, we're getting to the end here. All right, this probably is not the S tier you were thinking of, but
This is Alfonso Cuarón, right?
yes, it is.
Okay. Y Tu Mama Tambien is a masterpiece, so he's at least B. I don't love Gravity. I think Roma is great. I think Children of Men is great, bordering on masterpiece. So I'm just going to put him in B.
Alrighty. I think that's fair.
All right, so there's two more.
It's two more, and you're saying there's an S tier that I'm missing. I mean, there probably is. Yeah. Well, I there's probably lots, but here we go. Oh, yeah. I forgot I put this.
I can't even see who it is. I have no idea who this is.
What? You don't know that this is Tom Six, the director of Human Centipede?
Bro.
Yes.
I can't in good faith do anything other than put him in F. I
What?
mean, and it's not the Human Centipede isn't great.
He also,
I mean, Dieter Laser's performance is amazing, but you know, it's a good movie. It's not a great movie.
You just said it was great. You said it had a great performance by Dieter Laser.
I retract that.
You know it's a great movie. This is one of those litmus test
All right,
ones.
if this last director isn't who I think it is, I'm gonna ask that you actually download the image and put him in there.
All right, maybe I fucked up. Yeah, I think I did actually, because I think that was. I can't believe that was maybe my last one. I had one more kind of joke one, but I already am like at. Oh, shit, you know who's not on there that is supposed to be on there? Is Alfred Hitchcock.
That's the one.
Okay. Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah, that was the obvious S that like I feel like there's no any list without Hitchcock is a joke.
That's supposed to be there. Okay, well then good. I'm glad we rectified this.
So while you download that image, I'll just say that Hitchcock is okay, beautiful. Yeah, the ultimate formalist, the guy who really probably did the most in like writing the book for, you know, how camera movement can, you know, aid the telling of a story. North by Northwest is a masterpiece. Psycho is a masterpiece. There's not a movie of his that I've ever watched and like hated, or even less than like really, really, really liked. And there's a lot of them that I love. And yeah, he's the father of modern cinema. Put him up there on S.
Hell yeah. Well, ladies and gentlemen, I believe that this is Jared's greatest directors of all time list. We're just gonna throw a bonus one in here. Lloyd Kaufman, the Troma.
You know,
director.
I almost put Lloyd Kaufman in there for you,
You
which
should
would have been
have.
much more appropriate.
Right.
Where would you have put him?
I would put him at probably either if I'm gonna be, I put him at B or C, because I do think, and now it's hinging on whether I think Toxic Avenger is a true masterpiece or not. I love the shit out of his movies, and I think it's a special thing. But it's like, yeah, how do I compare that to the rest of this? Which that's the name of this game.
So I think really the only movie of his I've seen, you know, I think you should just delete him because I don't think I've seen enough movies to really have an educated perspective here. But I've seen that his Romeo and Juliet movie.
Romeo and Juliet, the James Gunn film.
So it's not even his. Never mind that.
No, I forgot who directed it. He might have directed it, but James Gunn wrote it. I know that for sure. But
so the one that I included for you that I would have put in S, and I was just thinking about it. Why can't I think of it now? Apologies. It is late here. Fuck. Hold on.
Yeah.
It's interesting you didn't give me Tim Burton. I mean, I wouldn't have put him in any of these. I'm curious, did you revise the list after we recorded yours?
No.
To get some new faces in there?
No, not really. But in hindsight, there's probably about 5 or 6 of those. I wish only because you hadn't seen as many as I thought you had. I probably would have, in hindsight, switched out for directors I know you had seen a bunch of
Yeah.
their
So
movies.
looking at your list now, I mean, so I'm just gonna say that Ridley Scott's Blade Runner needs to be recognized as a masterpiece. So he
Okay.
would have been B, A, or S. Soderbergh, Burton, Spike Lee, and Richard Linklater. I don't really feel that strongly about, although I do think Richard Linklater would be at least a B for me. Um, Charlie Kaufman would have been an F for me.
Oh, really?
As a director,
I
yeah,
was I
because I
was
do
thinking
not.
about putting him in your list. But okay, that's interesting.
So there's no Francis Ford Coppola here. I would have put him in A because I think Godfather 1, 2, and Apocalypse Now are masterpieces.
Yeah. Also, something that should be said maybe to the people is that when we were breaking up, like how many, who should we be picking? Our kind of rough breakdown was like, all right, pick 25 people you know are masters, and then 25 people that you know that that the other person would have a strong opinion about. So I took that to heart, and I definitely, to me, in my list, there's
Yeah, yeah,
like
yeah.
25 total masters. And then there's people that I was like, all right, I want to see where he would put J.J. Abrams compared to, Brian De Palma or something. But
No,
yeah,
you did pretty well. The only ones that I included that I also feel strongly about is Nicholas Rogue. I would have put in either A or S. John Ford, I think I would have put in S.
really?
Uh,
Hell yeah, okay.
yeah, and
That's higher than what I put in.
Kurosawa I might have Kurosawa would have been A or S. Jodorowsky would have been probably A or B. John Hughes would have been probably A, like you did. Sidney Lumet would probably have been A, and Billy Wilder would have been A, which we all agreed on. And
Yeah.
then yeah, other than that, I don't really think you missed much. The only other one yeah, no, I think that was good. Guillermo del Toro, I didn't, that probably would have been D or F for me. Of course, Sofia Coppola, there wasn't really a reason to do that. Uh, yeah. All right. Other than that, I don't really think. Yeah, I mean, I picked George Lucas and Zack Snyder. I probably would have put them similarly where you put, and then Gus Van Sant. I probably would have done the same that you did too.
And looking at your list, the only big disagreements I have are just, I guess, the definition of what a god is. I mean, it's tale as old as time. With James Cameron, I mean, I think like guy's a god, cinema god. I've probably even, yeah, a few of these other like David Fincher. I could make that argument too, but I mostly can kind of see your logic on almost all these. Uh, yeah, except Tommy Wiseau. I mean, shit, he should give him a D. I mean, for God's sake. And Tom Six got
Yeah.
robbed.
Yeah. All right. Cool.
Oh
Well,
man,
this was super fun.
yeah, this is
Thank
great.
you everybody for watching. I'm gonna make another video telling you to subscribe to Ryan and the reasons why you should subscribe to Ryan's shorts right now. Thank you so much for watching, guys. I hope that was as fun for you as it was for Ryan and I to record. So I'm here to tell you why you should go to the description and click to subscribe to Ryan's shorts. First of all, Ryan's Shorts is an amazing channel where Ryan puts obscene amounts of effort into each one of his projects, and they bring a lot of joy into my life. They're very funny, and Ryan is just one of the most unique people I've ever come across in life. Pretty much every stereotype that you would usually adhere to someone that looks and speaks like him isn't true. Even though he stutters, he's actually somewhat of a genius. He is one of the most intellectually and morally courageous people I know. I love this dude. We moved to Hollywood together. We would try to break into the Emmys together. We would just party like complete degenerates together. He was the first person I hired at Wisecrack. This is us at the 400,000 subscriber party. He was there all the way up to 2 million subscribers. I love this guy so much that when I was going through my depressive episode last year that I alluded to in my previous video, as part of my recovery, I actually reached out to childhood and college friends of his and would interview them to just hear about the crazy stories that this guy has experienced in his life. Because if you're a fan of Ryan's shorts and if you're a fan of Ryan, you know that there's this thing called Ryan lore, because he is the most interesting man in the world, and the stories that he has of things that he's experienced in life are insane, if not incredible. If I may impart one thing that big fans of Ryan may not know, is that Ryan himself is a feature film director. Yes, Ryan shot, edited, directed, and pretty much self-financed, and by that I mean with $0, a feature film that he shot during one summer in college. It's called All the President's Favorite Foods, and it stars a mentally handicapped person that he auditioned at a institute for the mentally handicapped while he was undoubtedly very stoned. It is a very interesting piece of work, and if you're a fan of Ryan's, I highly recommend you go to his channel right now and harass him to release the cut. It's called All the President's Favorite Foods, and it's one of the most unique films ever made, as you can imagine. So, guys, go subscribe to Ryan's shorts. He has brought so much joy to my life, and I guarantee he will bring joy to yours as well. Thanks for watching, guys. Peace.